thank you. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Exploring Europe with Martin, David, and Rudy. This time, in the fall of 2023, our friends went to Switzerland to try to find some nice crystals high up in the Alps. Sit back, grab a drink, and enjoy a new adventure of these amazing explorers. They go out there so you don't have to. It was a long journey, getting to Switzerland. After driving the whole day, their first stop was this very beautiful and elegant hotel somewhere in France. The next morning, they enjoyed the amazing views from the hotel room. And before long, the landscape changed, and they felt they were getting closer to the Alps. And listen to this.
Oh, deze berg herinner ik me. Als het super helder is, dan kon je...
Rudy actually remembers something. How great. They took a break near a nice blue mountain stream and then continued their trip. But after a while, David said, "Hey, Rudy, give me the camera so you can drive a little faster." "No problem," said Rudy. And at last, they reached a high mountain lake at 2,000 meters altitude that was very close to the site where they wanted to go crystal hunting. At the red arrow, you can see the lake. And this was their destination for the day, the gorge at the bottom of the Cavrati mountain. Here you can see Rudy, who would like to go climbing high mountains, struggling to get up a low tree trunk. They came across an old man who told them where to go. And he gave them a very nice piece of crystal that he happened to have in his pocket. And they asked the next Swiss man that they saw, "Will the path be dangerous?" But he shook his head and said, "Just a bit steep." But when they got to the end of the track, they saw this warning sign that basically said, "Don't do this." The small path became very scary. Right next to it, there was a 30-meter drop to the stream below. A fall here would be unpleasant, or even unhealthy. Martin decided to go and have a look down in the gorge. But he didn't see any crystals anywhere, so they decided not to push their luck. After a few minutes' rest, they went back on the track.
ashes.
Wow, Rudy just found a microscopic fragment of crystal in a large quartz rock.
Ik heb hier ook een klein stukje, volgens mij.
And David and Martin also found some nice small pieces. But the day was coming to an end, and after a while they walked back to the car and drove to their Airbnb. They prepared a simple but healthy meal,
Kijk hoe huiselijk wij hier gaan zitten, jongens.
spoke a lot about what an amazing day it had
Die
been,
worst zit er al in, hè? Ja. Kom maar. Het smaakt het, mensen.
Het smaakt maar.
Wat een mooie dag hadden wij.
Ah, ja, geweldig.
and made plans for tomorrow. They decided to drive back to the high lake and hike up into the mountains from there. In the morning, the sun went up as the moon went down. It looked like it was going to be another beautiful sunny day.
Het is 10 uur 's morgens. We gaan daar de berg in. Op zoek naar vet mooie kristallen. Allemaal even ingesmeerd. Tot zo.
Just look at these guys, hiking here on a sunny morning in the mountains. What a great way to spend an October day. The past few years, they've made many such trips. They went looking for fossil fish in the quarries in southern Germany, walked on the pebble beaches of Denmark. They went to Venice and the Dolomites in Italy, and they went to the beautiful coast of Sweden. They made campfires, found Stone Age tools, slept on the snow in an old forest, and excavated large ammonites on the French coast, always making nice photos and videos along the way. Their motto is, go out there and you will find something cool, like this avalanche trigger grenade, or this nice piece of crystal that David picked up from between the rocks, or this beautiful piece that Martin found. Rudy decided to climb as high as he possibly could along these rocks, from where he could see David on the other side of the valley.
Yo, waarom ging je nou nog?
Ja, die ligt hier gewoon.
Kom eens. Ga deze weer maken net.
Hier, gewoon. Dat is een pauze.
Wat leuk man.
Hier, dat is super cool.
At the end of the day, the three explorers headed down to the car park. They had walked and climbed so much that they couldn't even feel their legs anymore. There was one more thing to do for the day. They needed to find a nice place to get a pizza. After a good night's sleep, they prepared themselves for their last day in the mountains. On these rather snowy Google Earth images, you can see, in red, the path they took yesterday, and today, they would try to walk this blue path, a lot higher up the mountain. They had packed some food, water, and sunscreen in their bags. Though they were not at extreme altitudes, they noticed that breathing already became a little bit harder. This had nothing to do with the fact that they were getting a bit older. After walking for an hour, they stepped off the path and just went straight up the mountain, picking up every rock that looked interesting. This whole afternoon would be filled with climbing, walking, hammering, and taking pictures of it all. Some of the time, the guys would be working next to each other. At other times, they lost sight of each other for hours. At a certain point, Rudy wandered off and tried to reach a field of large boulders near the top of the mountain. As he was climbing over them, he was a bit scared that they'd come loose and would start rolling down the slope towards his friends.
Zo, ik zie hier iets liggen. Dit is of een kristal, of een stukje plastic, of ijs. Dit is kristal, denk ik. Dat is toch wel mooi.
At last, the time had come to go home. It took David and Rudy some time to locate Martin, being on the other side of the valley. But when they got to him, he showed them what he had found. A rock full of crystal. They went down the mountain, their backpacks full of stones, their minds filled with memories and experiences. The end of another wonderful day and the end of another amazing trip.